Askcarterlaw back again with your favorite legal hot topics. Today we will be discussing the leaked text messages and the $20 million sexual assault suit against Chris Brown. Let's get started. So where do we even start? I want to say I covered this maybe a week and a half ago, that Trey Songz and Chris Brown were both being sued for sexual assault. There were up to 5 people between the two of them suing them for various sexual assault incidences that have happened in 3 different places: Vegas, Florida, California. And so today's video is just about Chris Brown. So we're not going to discuss Trey Songz. I don't think there have been any newer updates as it relates to Trey Songz, but there's been a huge update as it relates to Chris Brown. So Chris Brown, again, was currently being sued for $20 million with a Jane Doe. We don't have her name. Allegedly, a Miami Diddy party on a yacht turned into a sexual assault where she was allegedly essentially roofied by Chris Brown. She doesn't remember much about the incident other than, knowing that she had sex with him and the next day him asking her to take a Plan B pill. And so that's all we knew. And so, of course, because Chris Brown obviously kind of has this shadow of what happened with Rihanna and some other incidences over the last couple of years, it was like immediately everyone believed, or a lot of people believed, that this could be possible. And then he sets the internet on fire with leaked text messages from this accuser, and also a voice memo. So we're going to start with the text messages. So I want you to keep in mind this date, December 30th, 2020. Okay, so just pin that date in your mind, because this is the night that she met Chris Brown on Diddy's boat, allegedly, again, roofied, sexually assaulted. So just imagine we're on December 30th. The person has just been sexually assaulted, okay? So just pin that date in your mind. And we're going to go to the next day. And the way we're going to follow this, I'm going to show you the text messages between Chris Brown and the accuser. And then we'll close the video out with actually the audio, the voicemail that she left him, where she says that he's the best sex she's ever had, and she's basically begging to have sex with him again. So we're going to close out with the audio, but we're going to start with the text messages. So the first text is December 31st at 7:08 a.m. Okay, so if you zoom in close enough, you see that's the date. So this is literally the next morning. So alleged assault on the 31st. The first text message comes from Chris Brown where he's saying, yo, you should take a Plan B. He's basically saying, I want to be, safe. So we have the first group of text messages where you see on December 31st, literally the next day after alleged assault, that he's asking her to take a Plan B. And then, he's saying, I just want to be proactive, obviously. And she responds, okay, I'll get one. And again, he continues to say that he just wanted to be sure, that he was faded. He just wanted to be sure. And so she responds saying, that's fine. And then she immediately follows up with, I want to, and it's obviously redacted here, but have sex with you tonight at midnight, which I'm not sure what having sex with someone at midnight, what that's all about. But keep in mind, this is supposedly someone that has just been sexually assaulted the night before, saying that she wants to have sex with him again. And then, he never responds, right? And so later that night, or later that morning, she asks where he is. No response. Then sends a series of pictures, all of that, right? And then the messages continue on. It looks like, let's see, we're at January 2nd. She's asking him to essentially maybe come over to his house. He's like, it'll probably be his house if they hook up. Again, this is all on, from January 2nd to January 11th. There are additional exchanges of text messages. And again, you've just been sexually assaulted on the 30th. So this is like less than 2 weeks later. They're still exchanging messages about hooking up. And then, I guess it doesn't happen for whatever reason. And the 13th, she reaches out to him again, saying she's bored. Again, this is someone that's sexually assaulted, begging to come over to his house. She's bored. She wants to come over. And then she asks him the typical question women ask when they want to know the status of the relationship. She says, do you just want to, again, it's redacted, have sex with me? Or can we just hang out on some chill stuff during the day? I know you're busy. It's cool if you just want to have sex. I just want to know my role. And how does he respond? No response. No response. And then the next day she just says, okay, never mind. She sends more nude pictures that have obviously been redacted. And literally from February 7th all the way, it looks like through May, through his birthday. His birthday is on May 5th. I know most people know his birthday is on Cinco de Mayo. She sends him a series of messages that are never responded to. She mentioned in February she was at a party, same party he was at, asking to come over. Again, through April, still saying, can I come over? Just no response to any of her messages. She wished him a happy birthday in May, no response. Then she finally, in June, says, will I ever be able to see you again? And posts more nudes, new pictures. And then she gets desperate, and then she also leaves this audio, this voice memo that we're going to get ready to play. So obviously her attorneys, George Verbeck and Ariel, the attorney Ariel, they weren't aware, obviously, of all this, evidence. And maybe Chris Brown was strategically holding on to it to release it at this perfect opportune time, because he essentially turned this over to the police because, again, she's accusing him of a crime. Even though it's a civil complaint, she's still accusing him of a crime. And so now that the Jane Doe's lawyers have these messages, she has officially been dropped from them being her attorneys. And so before I play the audio, I just want to say this. There are great situations where drugs are involved or when celebrities involved where they assume that they can have sex with people, or people are so much under the influence they can't say yes or no. I get that. But there are also circumstances like this where people are chasing people for clout. They still want to be associated with them even after they have sex with them, knowing that they're really just one night stands. And then they don't get their way, and then all of a sudden it's sexual assault. And we shouldn't be looking to put anyone in jail, but especially black men. It really bothers me that she would essentially accuse him of a crime, even though she didn't go after him criminally. You're still accusing someone of a crime, tarnishing, a reputation that he's still very much still trying to put together for a quick come up because the relationship didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. And we're in this kind of post-Me Too movement where women are just going to be more believed. And it shouldn't be believe all women. It should be believe everyone once they have their evidence, right? That's what the motto should be. And so anyway, with that being said, I'm going to play the audio of where she is essentially begging Chris Brown to have sex with her again. I don't see any other attorney taking on this case. I'm pretty sure his lawyers are filing a motion to dismiss as we speak. A lot of people have asked me, can there be criminally something filed? Unfortunately, I don't see a prosecutor filing anything against her because she technically didn't break any laws. Like if she had filed maybe like a police report, then you can get her on filing like a fake police report, similar to what they did with Jesse. Jesse is serving almost up to 5 months in jail for doing that, right? But she didn't file a police report. Allegedly she was a medical student. She was embarrassed. She didn't want to say anything at first. So she never filed a report. She did everything civilly as it related to Chris Brown. So the answer is, unless she broke broke some criminal statute that I'm unaware of where a prosecutor, a DA could go after her, I don't see her being criminally charged for anything. I think the most he can do is sue her for defamation and obviously get a judgment, not that she has any money where he could cash in on the judgment, but use it as a deterrent moving forward for future people that think that they're going to sleep with him one time or a few times and think that they're going to come up, have an easy come up. I think, again, he shouldn't sue her because he should expect to get any money out of it. He should just get the judgment and do it for the principle for a future deterrent. So if Chris Brown, if you're listening, yes, you're going to have to spend money on a lawyer to do this, but I actually think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I think it's going to really put the next person on guard if they're even thinking about doing what this particular Jane Doe did to him. And also it's going to expose who she is because she's hiding behind the Jane Doe. If he files anything civilly against her, he will reveal her identity. And so just like Chris was publicly bashed, she needs to be publicly bashed for essentially lying on him. So we shall see what Chris Brown's next steps are. Maybe he'll just get the case dismissed and he'll leave it alone entirely and move on with his life. We shall see. But in the meantime, roll the tape.
What time is it? Put the time and date.
You haven't blocked me yet, so I'm guessing you don't hate me. I just want to see you again. I mean, just answered the phone and you just hung up. Just let me know. If you want me to leave you alone, I definitely will. But I really just want to you again.
To follow stories like this, you can continue to follow us on our social media handles at Askcarterlaw or on our website, www.askcarterlaw.com.